Hey guys, how's it going? It is Nanowrimo day 11 and I don't have anything particularly interesting to share, so I thought I would just do a mini book haul. And if you're not interested in Nanowrimo videos that don't have anything to do with Nanowrimo, then I understand and you don't have to feel obligated to watch this video. So anyways, let's get started. There is this little bookstore by me that is called the Book Corner, and the proceeds go to the library, and it's really tiny, and when you go in there it just feels really old school. There's like all these old ladies that are really talkative and bored, and they're just pretty sweet, and everything is under $5, and like $5 would be like crazy expensive. Most of the books are like 75 cents to $1, and some of them are even just completely free, just take them. So I like to go there because they actually have kind of a high turnover rate, and I usually find a lot of gems there, and so I've been slowly filling up my bookcase with Book Corner books that look really expensive. Everybody's heard of them, and they look really nice on my shelf, but I didn't have to pay a bunch of money for them, while also still supporting the library. So win-win-win, awesome. So anyways, here we go. The first book I got was The Thousand Autumns of Jacob de Zoet by David Mitchell, and this is by the same author that did Cloud Atlas. And I don't know much about this book except for the fact that it's set in Japan, which is automatically interesting, and apparently it has an amazing story. But Conrad from JustADustJacket here on YouTube, before he totally scrapped his channel and took down all of his original videos, which were amazing, and that was like the worst moment of my life, he highly praised this book and did a whole video on it, reviewing it and saying how awesome and just astounding, and like so many superlatives describing it. I can't even tell you how much praise he had for this book. So obviously when I found a hardcover copy in this good of condition for $1, I had to pick it up. So yep, that's cool. Then I got a, that's kind of hard to see. This is a Leonardo da Vinci book from 1938, and there are illustrations inside. Not illustrations, they're actually like, you know, his paintings and works and sketches and stuff. But this summer I was on a huge Leonardo da Vinci kick. I decided that I wanted to research him and study him and take notes, and like I bought a couple of books of his works and then like cut them out and put them in frames, and I'm going to put them on my wall in my writing cave. And I named my dog after Leonardo da Vinci. We call him Leo, but his full name is Leonardo da Vinci. And so I have like a whole notebook devoted to him, and it's kind of creepy. Maybe I'll do a video on all Leonardo da Vinci and how weird it is. Like, basically I just go through these phases where I have these dead male awesome people that I aspire to be like, such as Dickens or Leonardo da Vinci or Hannibal, although he was fictional. But yeah, I just go through phases where I want to learn everything about them, and yeah. So anyways, let's move past that little business. I picked up a vintage copy of Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This is an original book that came out in 1953, and when I plunked this on the counter, the old lady was like, "I remember when I was alive in the 50s and this book came out and I read it when it came out," and I was like, cool. I never know what to say to people. But anyways, this is like a banned book, and I already know what the story is about and everything, but interesting, I guess. Everybody's read this, so yeah. 75 cents, couldn't pass that up. Then I got the English Victorian Poetry Anthology. This is exactly what it says. It's an anthology of English Victorian poetry, which is awesome to have around, just sitting on my desk. I think this cover is kind of inspiring. Just kind of a simplistic view of the Victorian era. She's just reading a book of poems. If ever I am editing the sentiment read and having trouble getting into the world or the time period or how they talk to each other or what they might have been reading at the time, then I feel like I can just pick this up and read one of the poems and be inspired. And I am someone who would like to be into poetry. I think that'd be cool. I have like a Japanese death poems book that I haven't read, and I mean, that would be something to be awesome to be interested in, but I haven't given myself the chance. But I just opened to this page, and there's a tiny little poem that I'll read to you. It says, "Parting at morning. Round the cape of a sudden came the sea, and the sun looked over the mountain's rim, and straight was a path of gold for him, and the need of a world of men for me." So if you can figure that one out, let me know. Anyways, it's just cool to have something like this, a good reference book, I guess. Then I got Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray, which is kind of a creepy cover. I guess this is Oscar Wilde. I think everybody's heard of this. I haven't read it. Another Victorian novel that I'm interested to read. And this is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. And Conrad from JustADustJacket, he just mentioned this in one of his scariest book of all times, like Halloween Reads video, and he says that this is the creepiest story by Stephen King that he's read, and he has read basically all of Stephen King's books, so that's pretty highly recommended. And he said that he read this as a teenager, and he appreciated it for the story elements and thought it was, you know, very entertaining. But then he read it again after he had lost someone close to him, and that it was just deeply impactful and unflinching, and he described it as humanity with all of its skin pulled off. That guy is a genius. But anyways, I personally haven't lost someone very close to me, so, and you know, knock on wood, I don't want to just to experience a Stephen King novel in a different way, but that makes me super interested to find out what this is all about. So, yeah. Then, I got the Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope, and I've seen the adaptation called the Barchester Chronicles, and one of the characters, Obadiah Slope, is actually, I based Dia off of him a little bit and named after him, just taking some of character traits, not, you know, obviously stealing a character or anything, but I love the characters in that show, and sometimes it's a little slow, but like Obadiah Slope is elegant in a creepy way and so refined and polished, but like secretly manipulative and amazing. And then there's this other character who is a super good guy and loves his daughter, and he's kind of older, but he gets taken advantage of because of his position, and it's so good, so good. And actually it's on my Netflix queue to watch again after Harry Potter. But yeah, one of my favorite things in the world is to read Victorian literature and feel all the feels and appreciate it for a piece of fiction from the time period that I'm most interested in. And then to watch the adaptation and feel all the feels again, fall in love with the characters the way that the actors portray them, and just, you know, doubly get my heart broken. So I just love it. And the Barchester Chronicles is one of those things that I'll just rewatch over and over again. So I am loving the fact that I found the book and will get to experience it in that way. So awesome. And take everything I just said and apply that to the Foresight Saga by John Galsworthy. This is another Victorian era adaptation that I watched and loved, and now I have the book form, which is super exciting. I love these characters. Oh my gosh, the love stories and just the tragedy and the amazingness and the people and it's just a cry fest of just epic proportions. And this is a monster of a book. It's really humongous. So I will just be doomed to reread and rewatch the same freaking shows over and over again, like Little Dorrit and Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre and all of those amazing stories that I'll just read the book and then watch the adaptation and then move on to the next one and just over and over again for the rest of my life, which is just fine with me. That's how I want to spend my time. That's cool. So I got all of those books for $10, and then the lady said, since you spent $10, you get 2 books for free. So I was like, oh my gosh, hell yeah. So I got Stephen King's The Drawing of the Three. This is the second book in the Gunslinger series, and that has a ton of books. I don't even know how many, but I own the first one, and I've actually read the Gunslinger, but that was my first time reading on a tablet, and it was an interesting experience. It was a really complicated and just a weird book, and I don't think that's the best way to dive into Stephen King, because I've read some of his other books and they're way more accessible. So I definitely want to read a lot of Stephen King, so the Dark Tower series is part of that. And my fiance Colin also read that at the same time, and he is interested in the series as well, but we both kind of stopped. So this will be great for both of us, and it was free. Hooray! And then the other one was The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. Also Conrad from JustADustJacket. You can tell that I just adore him. Not in a creepy way, hopefully. He loves Anne Rice, Interview with the Vampire Chronicles, all that jazz. You can't even see this. This looks like this. Yeah, super interested to read those series, because he says that you get to know these interesting vampire characters, and then later books come out and more is revealed about their character, and then it just makes everything that happened before even more tragic. And you can tell that there's a theme here with the heartbreak and the sadness and the tragedy and the feels. I just love feeling the feels. So I have a lot of new books that were all awesome and only $10, and it got me out of the house. So I think that was a great way to spend the afternoon. So I will see you guys around. Goodbye!